going on, everybody? It's Lucas with Lucas P. Bushcraft. I'm here on finally another solo survival excursion up here in the Canadian Boreal forest. Mostly coniferous, not a lot of deciduous trees up here, so I'm really used to this kind of survival because it's what I've grown up in. But anyways, I'm up here for a weekend. I've got a few tools. The mosquitoes are just eating me alive. So anyways, I'm gonna try to find somewhere to set up camp and get a fire going really fast, because otherwise I'm gonna go insane. All right, everybody. So before I get too far into things, I want to show you what I've brought with me. So I've got my little case. This is full of all my camera supplies. I obviously brought my GoPro and my camera. I've got a couple extra layers for warmth, and I've brought with me my knife, homemade knife with my homemade sheath, a fire steel, so I've got fire covered, and then I've just brought my bear spray. It's Raid hornet and wasp spray, and this stuff, I bring it with me everywhere. It works, it will work on anything, you know, any wild animal. Give you some time to run away at least, but it shoots a lot further than bear spray, and you can use it several times. So that's my story behind the Raid and why I bring it. I also almost forgot to tell you that I'm also bringing along my axe. This is going to help with my shelter, but I didn't want to leave that one out. So anyways, I found a nice little spot here. I've actually right on the side of a lake here, so I've got water right at my doorstep. I found a nice rock. I'm going to clear this away, and this will be a sweet spot for a shelter. I'm really happy with the whole layout. There's nice soft ground. I'm really close to the water. It's a decently clear area in here. One of the things that I find when I'm in an environment like I am in now is the forest can be very, very dense. And what happens is, if you're alone, I like to try to find a place with some sort of opening, some sort of clear view to a large area. This not only helps you feel less claustrophobic, because I find when you're alone in these kind of woods, it can be very, very intimidating and quite scary. So finding an area with some opening is not only good for that, but also excellent for some sort of signaling. If someone's looking for you, you need some clear space. So I found this nice little spot. I'm going to get a fire going first thing, because these mosquitoes are driving me insane. So I'm just going to be using my fire steel. I'm going to get some supplies here. I can really see from where I'm sitting everything I need, and we'll get some smoke going and clear these guys out. So first things first, you want tinder. Now tinder is anything the size of like your hair, very, very thin, very, very fine, and I like to say up to about the size of pencil lead thickness, so very, very small. Next would be your kindling. Kindling is from pencil lead pretty much up to about a ½ inch in diameter. Now this is going to be your kindling. Again, very small, very dry. And anything from that above would be considered fuel. So I'm going to start gathering up, making piles of what I need, and like I said, I've got a lot of material close by, so that's really, really awesome for me. Alright guys, so let me show you something really cool that I like to do when making fires out here in this kind of area. That is a fail-safe for me. So this here is called Old Man's Beard. Now on its own, if you tried to light this with a lighter or something to that effect, it wouldn't really light very well. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, why would you do that? That's such a stupid idea. It doesn't work. Now, the secret is, I'll show you. I'll get a whole bunch of this gathered together, and what I've got here, for example, is, look at this tree. This is a fir, and this is my key right here. Do you see that? Look at that. Now watch what happens. If I poke this open, right there. All of that. Just load up my old man's beard with that. Shoot into it, shoot a spark into it, and it works every single time. All right, so I've again really quickly gone together and gathered some of this old man's beard and sap. I got a lot of liquid sap in the middle there, and then these are just hardened pieces of sap from the fir tree. Now, this is all mixed in with the rest of my old man's beard, and there's some tinder and kindling mixed in. So anyways, without further ado, because I'm getting eaten alive, watch and learn, get my fire steel, and I have the sap up because this harder stuff doesn't ignite right away. What happens is I'll shoot the sparks in, and the liquid sap that I put in there, that's the stuff that actually starts burning. Now I have this on top is because when it starts burning, this harder stuff will start melting and start coating all of this with burnable fuel. So anyways, here we go with my knife made by myself. Thank you very much. Anyways, take the back of my blade, shoot a couple sparks in there. There we go, it catches. And you just wait. That melts, and that will not go out. I made fires in downpours using sap. This stuff is incredible. Like I said, it'll just start melting through, and I can at any point start adding more kindling. Now you don't want to add it on too soon, because if it hasn't melted yet, what's going to happen is you just put it out. It can blow out pretty easy, but that's why you mix it with the old man's beard. It melts and it gets in between everything, and it will not go out. Whew. Let's get those mosquitoes out of here. Alright, so I got my fire going. This is 1,000 times better. Mosquitoes are just gone. I was literally going crazy there. I feel bad because I couldn't take any real good footage for you because, like I said, I was just being eaten alive. But anyways, I'll keep this guy going. There's a lot of fuel all around this place to keep this going, so I'm not going to worry too much about getting a bunch of firewood because I have my fire steel. If this goes out, I can quickly remake this, but in the meantime I need to be careful because there's a lot of trees, dead trees, quite close, and the ground is also very dry. It's got a lot of pine needles on it, so I'm going to do my best to keep it under control. I won't be able to make a proper fire pit tonight. Tomorrow I'll probably focus on that so I can leave it longer and not worry. But anyways, light's going down, so I'm going to try to make a shelter really quick. What might even end up happening is I might just end up sleeping around the fire. The ground is very, very nice. It's dry and it's soft, so I'm going to try to get a shelter. But like I said, worst case scenario, I can just sleep by the fire, praying that it doesn't rain. So anyways, let's get going. Big city life, me try to get by. Pressure not ease up no matter how hard me try. Big city life, in my heart have no base. And right now Babylon, they on the case. Big city life, try to get by. Pressure not ease up no matter how hard me try. Big city life, my heart have no base. And right now Babylon, they on the case. Alright, so the rain started to pick up. It was getting a little sketchy there. I didn't want to freeze to death, so I kind of panicked and was just working on sprucing up my shelter a bit, but we kind of got it wrapped up. The rain luckily stopped. I was able to dry off with my fire here. It's fairly dry inside, which was nice. Obviously not waterproof. I wish I had more time, but anyways, probably just going to wrap it up for the night. You know, I'm pretty happy with you know, the way that first day is gone. Again, wish I had a bit more time, but glad I got some fire going. My rock shelter built up, the hard part. So just gonna hunker down, and we'll see how the night goes. And I'll see you in the morning. Hey guys, so I don't know if you can see me. I don't know what time it is. I don't know how much sleep I've gotten. It feels like I've gotten nothing. My fire's still doing good. The ground is almost like bark mulch, so it smolders away really good. Yeah, I don't know. The ground is very comfortable. I'm very surprised. It's all just years and years of pine needles, so it's pretty soft, but again, compared to you know, your mattress or, you know, just at home, it's hard the first couple nights, and I don't know, you really appreciate just something dry. So, but anyways, so far the weather's holding out on me, which I'm happy about. Been pretty decent so far, and yeah, I'm looking forward to daylight. See you later. Good morning. That was it. Pretty decent sleep. A little chilly. I have to get up and sit by the fire a little bit, but otherwise the rain was good to me. The ground got a little damp from when it rained just before night, but it was actually pretty decent in here. Ground is actually amazingly soft and insulating, which was surprising. I've slept on this kind of ground once before, and it's probably the best sleep I've had in the wild. So that was pretty good, but like I said, if it rained I would have been pooped. So today I'm going to try to rainproof my shelter quite a bit more, and hopefully get some food, because I'm getting pretty hungry. But yeah, time to get to work.
Don't you wanna know me? Be a friend of mine. I'll share some wisdom with you. Don't you ever get lonely from time to time. Don't let the system get you down.
So first thing that I want to get doing this morning, before working again on my shelter, is I want to set up, try to get a trap or something like that set up so I can hopefully get some food, set up some deadfalls. There's chipmunks and squirrels everywhere. I want to try to get some fish. They were jumping really good yesterday, so anyways, like my camp, you can see my fire right through there. I'm literally right on the water here. So I think I'm gonna set up some sort of a funnel trap and try to get some, try to find some bait to stick in there. You know, let that work for me while I'm working on the shelter, doing other things, and I'll get some deadfalls going. So yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry. Alright, so pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm hoping that I can get some fish. They're jumping really close to shore, so I'm pretty optimistic. This is basically it in a nutshell. I drove down a bunch of stakes into the ground. It's pretty hard because it's pretty rocky. I couldn't drive them into like much soil, but anyways, so that's why I left a lot of them long, because otherwise they'd just float back up. But I got most of those in there, and I shoved a bunch of fir boughs in between, and then some more sticks just to hold it all together. Piled up some of the moss, just filled some cracks, and basically I've got this funnel coming in, and then an open pond for the fish. They'll swim in here and get caught. I'll put some bait, find something, put some grubs. Hopefully they'll get in here, and then from there I can spear them and have some dinner. Alright, so I got my fish trap up. Now I want to make a spear, because some fish go in there. Fish have been hopping all around, so I want to make sure I'll be able to get them out of there once they hopefully fall into my trap. So anyways, what I'm going to do here is make a spear, and the premise behind this is I'm going to point this, and then I'm going to take my knife and split it, so I get 4 separate prongs, and I'll wedge some little sticks and twigs down to keep them open. I'll try to lash them shut, carve some barbs on the ends. I've got myself a spear. I might harden it over the fire a little bit, but again, I just want to make sure I have something just in case I catch some fish in my trap. I'll probably, these are just going to be temporary while I'm shaping these guys, but then I take another stick, go down the other way, whoops, preferably one that doesn't break. Something like this. And then I can shape these guys. I'll round these out, and again I'll put some barbs on here. And then I've got basically my spear. Get some shorter sticks, some better sticks, and I've been using green wood because of the fact that it's a lot more flexible, and when I'm bending these guys apart, they're not going to snap. A lot easier to work with. And then, like I said, I'll just harden it over the fire, and I'll use some different sticks and just do some lashings around here to keep these sticks in place. Alright, so that's it. Pretty much ready to go now. I just peeled off the bark, left a bit up top for some grip. But anyways, again, I got my sticks in here, hold apart the tips. I lashed it a couple times just with some young sapling branches, some deciduous, just bendable, very pliable. Nothing super fancy, but it's just going to hold these together and keep it from splitting further down. Again, just rammed my little sticks in there, and then if you can see, I've got a little barb on each one of these hooks, each one of these tips. So that's 4 times the chance that I'm going to hit a fish if I got one in there. Like I said, I just roasted this like a marshmallow over the fire, making sure not to actually start this on fire. But these tips are rock hard now, so ready to go. I'm hoping I can get some fish soon. You know, the fish, I've seen them right around. I really hope I can get some in there soon. I'm getting very hungry, and I'm just feeling very exhausted. You underestimate how fast you run out of energy when you're not eating 24/7. I'm gonna just keep updating my shelter now. I've been lucky enough to have beautiful, beautiful weather today. But I want to make sure that if it rains, which it probably will at some point, I want to make sure that my shelter is a bit more rainproof. I did a little bit of work on the door, just really rough to close it in a little bit. I got to get a bunch more boughs, but like I said, I wanted to make sure that if there's food in there, that I have a ability to get it out. So that's that.
People in a show, all lined in a row.
Alright, so one of the wild edibles I've been having out here to kind of keep my energy up a little bit is just these fresh new little sprouts from these baby firs. The younger they are, the better. The younger they are, the less bitter. You want to have them as closely packed together as possible. Once they start opening up, 9 times out of 10, they're way too bitter to even swallow. But anyways, when they're just small like this, it's a good little boost. It almost tastes like, I don't know, almost like just lettuce, or they don't really have much of a taste. But anyways, a good little thing just to help keep you moving. Alrighty, so got everything kind of in order here. Vamped up my shelter, moved my fire closer so the heat is actually going to be reflecting off the rock into the shelter, which is the whole point of having the shelter up against a rock. I'll show you guys my little fire pit. I've just been burning really small stuff all day long, and it's been really great. I've got you know, a good surplus of firewood around here, but it's nice not having to spend the whole day getting firewood because it takes up a lot of time. But anyways, this is really good. It's just been smoldering. Like I said, I just moved it up. I put down a layer of just kind of like clay, just really dirt. Not a lot of organics, because when I had my fire just down below, the ground is pretty much like bark mulch, and it starts smoldering underneath. So anyways, I made a little ring here, put down some soil so it doesn't do that. So anyways, again, got my spear ready to go. Vamp this up a little bit. The bedding in here is like, oh, it's so soft. I spent a lot of time working on the top and where my body will be. Down below, obviously not so big of a deal. Blocked up the end there. We got some just boughs to keep the insulation in, but it's pretty much, you can't see any light through there, which is what you want. So I did a bunch of layers of boughs. Again, really focusing on the top of the shelter, because that's, the rain's going to be coming in. With this particular shelter, it's hard because you have the sticks sticking out of the top, and the rain will want to come down those. So anyways, what I did on the top is I took a whole bunch of dirt and I started piling it all over the top, and that way, you know, it gives protection from the water getting in. It's not going to be 100% waterproof, that's for sure. It's really hard to make shelters that are, but anyways, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with this now than I was last night. Again, got some dirt, some soil to fill all the little cracks a lot better. You know, I could spend all day getting boughs, but it's hard because a lot of them aren't very large and thick. There's a lot of really sparse ones, so it'd take me a long time to make this waterproof. So anyways, I thought it would be a good idea to start piling dirt. I plugged up my entrance a little bit, making me feel a little bit more homey, and then you know, when it comes time to sleeping, whatever I'm not wearing, I can just kind of hang up, give myself sort of like a door, but basically I want the heat coming in here. Really happy with this setup. So for shelter wise, I think I'm pretty much good. Now I want to focus on food, other smaller tasks to keep my mind busy and staying away from going insane. Alright, so since I got my shelter and everything kind of dealt with, again, I've got water, I've got my fish trap set up. You know, I might even go out and make a few more, but what I want to do right now is put together some deadfalls. There's chipmunks and squirrels running around everywhere, and you know, it'd be very good to get, you know, a bit of protein, something in my body, because just, you know, eating little buds and little fiddleheads it's just, it doesn't do it. You know, you can eat them all day long, but when it really comes down to it, there's not a lot of calories. It would be nice if there was even some cattail or some dandelion or something where I could get, you know, like a starchy root from. But anyways, so like I said, I'm gonna just make some deadfalls now. So basically, all I'm gonna be doing is making a figure 4 deadfall. Now, for any survivalist, this is kind of usually the most basic and like first deadfall that you learn. And basically, when it comes down to it, I don't think you need to learn anything else. You know, you get a good idea of how to build a deadfall. You know, there's lots of different variations. You can make snares, but if you don't have snare wire, or you know, you only have a few basic tools, often the most simple deadfalls are the most effective. So anyways, I'm gonna whip together a whole bunch of deadfalls here and just start popping them up, make a little trap line, and see if I can get a bit of protein here before, you know, I get going home tomorrow. It would be really really good if I could catch some food. When it comes down to it, you know, it's 2 days, 2-3 days without food, which isn't going to kill you. You're going to be very exhausted. But anyways, like I said, you get, you know, implements up to catch food, you're a step in the right direction. So anyways, I'm just going to whip these up and let you know what they look like. At this kind of time, when you've got your shelter and fire and water, I think it's pretty nice because you can really just start to enjoy a little bit. I feel like there's lots of pressure before, because, you know, if you get rained on, you don't have a shelter, you could get hypothermic. You know, you don't have water 3 days and you could die. You could die a lot faster than that too, or you could last longer, but still, water's a necessity. And again, if you're freezing cold, it's raining, you don't have a fire, again, you could get hypothermic and you could die. So anyways, I think those are 3 very important elements. Now, in order to be able to, you know, stay here and thrive and keep going, you need sustenance. And like I was saying, berries, little buds, and plants are only going to do so much for me. Alright, so basically what ends up happening here is you have your upright, which needs to be strong enough to support your deadfall, so your rock. Next, you have your bait stick, and what ends up happening is this main stick, your upright, it's got a pointed top, and straight down it's got a notch with a 90-degree corner. So this bait stick here, you can see, has a little groove in there, and that clips on to that 90-degree corner. And then straight back and at the top, I put a little hook. And what happens is I have these guys together, and then I measure what I need for my 45. And this is where you get your 4 figure from, figure 4, because it looks like a 4. Anyways, this top piece, I got a groove. That's going to pivot on my top, and then the bottom is just pointed, and it hooks in to my groove there. Your rock is putting pressure on top, oh so carefully, holding it all together. Put your bait on the end of this stick here. Little rodent comes and gives it a nibble, touching the trigger stick, and I'll just lodge the trigger stick from the shaft, and then the deadfall will fall. So anyways, I'm going to get a whole bunch of these set up, and hopefully, I don't know, put some grubs, put some nuts, pine nuts, see if I can find something to put in there, and just, again, I see chipmunks and squirrels running around everywhere, so hopefully another little food source. Alright, so I got a couple of these guys set up. I made 4 of these guys. But anyways, surprisingly difficult to find rocks around here. Mosquitoes are just ridiculous. Trying to set this up without, you know, just setting it off every time was a total pain in the butt. But anyways, this is it set up. I want to find a flat surface, preferably a rock, and then a flat rock to go on top. Set it up. You want to get your bait. I'm going to try to find some nuts or something to put on there. You really want to get it fed into the tip of the bait stick, and you know, so the squirrel or chipmunk comes along and it starts chewing that, and that'll really get them to set that off. But anyways, that's what it looks like. I'll try to get a couple more set up, and hopefully get a little bit of meat by the end of the night. Alright, so got my food, traps set up, deadfalls. So hopefully, again, that's working for me right now to get me some food. A couple days and you feel quite exhausted, but you know, if you can get like a little fish or a little chipmunk, it goes a huge way. But anyways, got some free time or some spare time. I don't know if you'd call it free time, but I'm gonna make a little bit of cordage, because cordage is always a good idea to have. I don't care where you are, what you're doing. So anyways, I'm using old man's beard. Takes quite a long time to gather enough of this to make anything substantial, but anyways, I did a little test piece with this earlier. I've never used this before to make cordage, and that is actually very, very strong. Like I said, I made a little, maybe 6-inch test piece, and I couldn't pull it apart. But anyways, so what you're gonna do, I'm just making 2 rolls here of the finest hemp. And basically you want these to be as similar in diameter as possible, and you just pinch the tips, and all you're going to do is twist one way. So I'm twisting away from myself, and then I'm going to pull that towards my body, so it's opposites. So twisting away, pull towards. You're just going to keep that process going all the way down your length of material. It actually goes quite quick if you've got good material, you've got it all laid out well. Anyways, again, just quite quick. Very a nice little time consumer. You know, you never want to be sitting around doing nothing, letting your mind, you know, start to worry or fear, or you always want to be busy with something. So anyways, like, there you go, some basic cordage, nothing fancy, but that stuff is surprisingly strong. So I'm just going to keep going, weaving some cordage for whatever it might be, traps, shelter. It's always a good thing to have around. So I was coming up to my fish trap, and I saw something unusual. Where is he? He's hiding now. Oh. A little speckled trout. Holy crap! No! Well, it's not huge, but that's something. Oh man, I'm excited about that. I think I saw a fish in here earlier, and he got out. So anyways, I spruced it up a little bit. I could have really reinforced this a lot better. I probably should have made it a lot bigger as well, but got a little guy coming through, so I'm swimming around, so let's cook him up. Didn't actually end up using my spear. This little guy is so small, I probably wouldn't have been able to catch him with my spear anyways. So for cleaning a fish, gutting a fish, what I'm going to do is from the anus, I'm going to slit just the tip of my knife up his belly to his gills. I'm going to cut down about, a third of the way from his neck, and then what happens is you grab his head and you pull the whole enchilada out, all of his guts, all of that. So anyways, that is just awesome. All come out one big long gut pile. So anyways, that was a pretty brutal job. But anyways, the liver can be used for bait. The rest of the guts, I can use it for bait. This guy's not very big, but I'm going to bring it down to the water, squeeze out all his spinal fluid with my thumb there. Alright, well, here I got my little guy, my little speckled trout, all cleaned out. I'm going to cook her up and get some energy in me. Alright, well, that was pretty sweet. I've never actually been able to catch a fish with a trap before. I've never tried, but man, is it ever nice. My deadfalls so far have gotten nothing. Doesn't look like they've been touched. Once before, there's a rabbit I saw running around here on one of my solo survival camp that I did a while ago. This one nighter, the second night I actually set up a snare and I caught a rabbit, and it's too bad I didn't take any of that on camera, but anyways, it just is just a crazy feeling when you can actually procure some sustenance for yourself. Even 2 days, like I said, you just get exhausted. And some meat like this, as tiny as it is going to be amazing. Look at that. Peel back that skin off. Try to get out. Oh. Still a little rare. I'm gonna stick it back on just for a bit, but I grab a bite. Oh, that is so good. Even just a little bit of meat. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been dry all day. There are a few clouds, but for the most part it looks pretty light. Thinking tonight will be a nicer night. I got my shelter done quite well. Pretty happy about that. The ground is pretty stinking soft. What I would do if I was here longer is I would make a good bed of boughs, but in the meantime, like I said, you just dig down and down. Like all this, the dirt soil is up to here, and it's all just soft, insulating bark mulch pretty much. So sleeping on that is actually very, very nice. I'll have my fire here reflecting off the rock. It'll keep me nice and warm. So I'm looking forward to going home tomorrow. I don't know. Being alone stuff, it's not my favorite, but I'll try to hopefully get a lot more of these. I don't know about a lot, but a few more of these videos for you guys. Me and my buddy want to go out. He wants to join me. Craig, he was in one of the videos. on how to build a log cabin. I believe the insulating and ceiling installation. But anyways, just very nice when you have success in a situation like this. You know, you can't guarantee anything. To be honest, I didn't think that fish trap would work. I've seen it done before. I could have built it a lot better if there was soil that I could actually drive stakes into properly. I could build a tighter, much more fish-proof kind of corral. I believe it's called a weir. But anyways, could build it a bit bigger. It was pretty small, but for the amount of time that it took me to construct, and it yielded me a fish in a day, you know, that could be it. That could be your key to surviving. But you know, just keep setting up traps, deadfalls. I could make 10 of these fish traps, and you know, I could have enough food to last me a year. There's fish jumping everywhere, absolutely everywhere. You know, 2 days, you can only do so much. But again, very, very happy with how this couple days have turned out.
We just push on by. It's funny how hard we try.
The linguists across the seas and the oceans. A permanent itinerant is what I've chosen. I find myself in a big city prison, arisen from the vision of mankind, designed to keep me discreetly, neatly in the corner. You find me with the flora and the fauna and the hardship.
Well, it's pretty cozy in here. It's good size. You know, I could do crafts in here. If it's raining, I could be weaving rope or making traps. Quite nice, actually. I'm really happy how this turned out, but I'm getting good heat here off the rock. You know, it's gonna keep me a lot warmer than it was last night, having the fire way out down there and having a bit more of this enclosed and better on the top too. I'm actually getting pretty hot in here right now. Alright, well, I'm gonna be heading to bed now. You know, pretty tired. The fish really help though. You just, any little bit of protein you can get, the oils, you just immediately, you know, helps you get back to that homeostasis. Feeling good. Got my heat, got my home, and yeah, I'm ready for bed. So, good night, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Whew. Successful night. Fire kept me a lot warmer. It was quite nice. Kept the bugs off too. Weather was good last night. I think it was raining a little bit. Sounded like it, but I didn't get wet in here. It's nice and dry. So, put out my fire, grab my things, and time to go. Please let me know what you think of this video. Give me a like, comment, and I would love if you would subscribe. you guys should check out my brother's channel, his new channel on his adventures in Australia. Pretty cool. Check him out. I'll have his channel at the end of the video. Thanks again, you guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.